What's going on, YTPC? City Blaze here. Sorry for the patchy lighting here. I know I'm getting raccoon eyes over here, but I'm top lit today. Well, technically this morning. It is approximately 1:30 in the morning here. And the street is surprisingly quiet. Yeah, surprisingly. Well, I come to this part of town to do a little bit of riding, where they leave the tables and chairs out in this part of town, in this area where I'm at, and I have the freedom to enjoy my pipe. I actually wasn't going to be doing a pipe review. I was just sitting here doing some writing, but I got distracted and I went on my City Blaze page, YouTube channel rather, and wanted to check out a couple of tobacco reviews because I have placed an order which I am extremely excited to receive. I have pardon, some Rattrays blends coming, and I ordered some more of Exhausted Rooster, which I have found to be one of the more pleasant blends to smoke from Cornell and Deal. I enjoy it immensely, but I took with me a tin this evening that I kind of wanted to finish, and I really don't want to do a negative review, but you know, hey, someone's got to do it. So it's not really a negative review, it's a very whatever kind of a review, right? It is an English blend, and as I'm probably going to put on the thumbnail, you're going to know what it is. Rare Breed Gurkha. Well, see, I think I have an issue with English blends having Perique in them. This one has Perique. It is a traditional mixture of Red Virginia's, Turkish Burley, Latakia, and Perique. It pretty much has everything in it. I don't know. The flavor profile of this kind of reminds me of, it doesn't smell, but it kind of reminds me of Epiphany, but Epiphany doesn't have that much. I think the proper pronunciation actually is Latakia. Funny enough, I'm going to segue for a second. I was explaining tobacco blends to my cousin's wife, who is Lebanese Armenian, just like I am. And when I said Latakia, she burst out laughing. And she said, "What?" I said Latakia or Latakia. She said, "Yes, it's Latakia. It's not Latakia." So if anybody's curious to know, apparently it's Latakia, and it's not Latakia, as some of us say. But tomato, tomato, right? Anywho, this particular blend, it impressed me to start with, but it kind of got very bland going through a couple of tins of it. And that's why I really did not plan on jarring it. I didn't want to cellar it. I have another tin that I'm just going to let be. I don't think I'm going to purchase any more of this. I'm just gonna, for example, make a random comparison. I was debating on bringing Father Dempsey out with me. Why? Because I have found that Father Dempsey is probably one of my favorite English blends. the first time I smoked it, a friend of mine introduced me to Father Dempsey, and he brought a tin over and he said, "Here, have this." And I said, "Thank you." And I think I might have smoked like half of it. I went through that thing in like one sitting. I enjoyed it so much, and I still do. I currently still enjoy Father Dempsey very much. And I wanted to make that comparison. What's the difference between this English and that English and the other? Virginia and Perique, as we all know, go together. But I found that, for my taste at least, Latakia and Perique kind of don't really smoke well together, and that is just my opinion. So Rare Breed to me is probably, I'd probably give it a 2.5 out of 5 if I were to grade it. But it doesn't mean that it's a bad tobacco. Now, interestingly enough, I mentioned Epiphany. When I received Epiphany, I was really excited because of the history behind it. And upon smoking it, I really did not like it. Same with Distinguished Gentleman. It is an aromatic. It's not a really goopy aromatic. It's a decent aromatic. And I really didn't like it. But you sometimes it grows on you, whether it's the tobacco changing over time, and which it does very, very slightly over time, or it's the palate, or I don't know what happens, but some tobaccos just grow on you and you start really enjoying it after a while. Some are nice in the beginning and kind of fade their way out. And I think Rare Breed to me is one of those blends that kind of faded out. I don't enjoy it anymore like I used to. Not to say it's a bad tobacco, because I'm done bashing tobaccos, because you know what? Maybe 2 years from now, I'm going to open that other tin that I have at home, and I'm going to, burn it, and it's going to be great. Who knows? I have learned that I don't know, maybe you have waves of enjoying some tobaccos, and some are delicious to begin with and some are not. But yeah, Rare Breed to me, not so much. Father Dempsey, to me, again, some people might think I'm comparing apples and oranges. Maybe I am, because they do have different types of tobacco in it, even though they're both English. But if I were to compare it, Father Dempsey has a creaminess to it. I cannot really explain why. I'm sure there is an explanation why, but I don't know it. Father Dempsey has this creaminess to it, whereas Rare Breed kind of does not. It does have that Latakia. It's detectable. It's quite detectable. But that Perique kind of, I don't think it does well with it, in my opinion. And I'm not too sure about the flavor profile of the Red Virginias either. And it says Turkish. I don't know what kind of tobacco is Turkish. I know where Turkey is, but it's not too descriptive. Okay? So that's my impression of Rare Breed. Other than that, it smokes fine, it burns fine. There's nothing too special or particular about it. But yeah, not for me. I don't know. Maybe give it a shot. Maybe you'll like it. And you know what? You send a message. Pardon me. You send a message to me. I don't know how YouTube does that, but I guess if you want to get in contact with me, I will give you my other tin of Rare Breed, because I'm really not looking forward to it, to be very honest with you. Okay. I usually get it right on the first try. Oh, never mind. I like it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I have started cleaning some of my pipes. I was gonna do a video on cleaning my pipes, but who wants to see that, right? I don't know. Let me know if you do want to see that. I'll tell you what though. You see this gigantic, enormous thing. My hands are pretty big too, but this is a very, very, very big pipe. It is the Hercules series of 7LE and 606 EX. This is one of my favorite pipes, and I like smoking English out of it because I have large quantities of English. This is a large pipe. I fill it up to the top, and it takes me a while to get through it. And it's a very large bowl. It's a very large pipe. I love this thing. A friend of mine saw it. I bought this from a store, picked it up, got a great deal on it too. A friend of mine saw it, and he just flipped out, and he had to have one. We looked all over the internet for it. Finally, I can't even remember which website it was, none of the popular ones, but one of the websites had it, and he snagged it, so there was another one floating around. If you do get a chance to buy this 606 EX Hercules series from 7LE, go ahead and do it. You won't regret it. It smokes incredibly well. It doesn't respect heat too much, so you can grab onto it. And yeah, it's a wonderful pipe. Clenching, it's fine. It's a bent. Yeah, you can clench if you want. But anyway, I'm going to keep the video short. I'm going on to 13 minutes now. Yeah, give it a try, I guess, or get in contact with me if you really, really want to try it and don't believe me that it kind of. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna say it. You could go ahead and get in contact with me, and I'll send you my tin. So, anywho, I do have a new pipe. I bought it at Mr. Bill's. I'm just giving everything away right now. It is a Peterson. It's beautiful, and I will show it to you on the next one. Okay? That's probably the most beautiful pipe I have. But until then, take care, be well, be kind to each other, and stay healthy. See you later.